Hello, everybody, and welcome to, WarCrafters for March 9th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 10. I am Mayor Watt, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we talk about ohmTown news. It's over in the WarCrafters channel. 5 articles today we're going to talk about Split Fiction, Thomas, the Space Marine tank engine, Steam hits 40 million concurrents. VRmageddon. I call it itch.io, but it's itch.io. Wildfire relief fundraiser. And probably some other tertiary things. So I hope you enjoy the show. Hang out. And if you have any questions or comments, you can throw them in the chat either here on Twitch or over here on YouTube. If you want all of today's show notes, you can actually just type in !WC. And everything is powered by ohmTown, so go over there and become a citizen. You know what? That is not the correct. I don't know what's going on. I guess I broke Omatron. Anyway, you can actually get all of the links over on YouTube because it's embedded in the show notes, but I'll fix Omatron later. Living the dream. Hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt from the present.
Still never feels right when I hear that. You still don't have any of the lottery numbers, right? You're not going to give them to me?
No, I just don't have them.
And we keep trying. All right, let's talk about Split Fiction. It Takes Two built a follow-up called Split Fiction. They talk about in the article the system requirements, and it's verified for Steam Deck, and they even say potato PC alike. So if you're, you know how they call it potato PCs because they're kind of like the potato clock. It's just a couple of wires stuck into it. And
okay. Yeah, I didn't know what a potato PC was.
Barely functions as a PC. Yeah, that's a potato PC. So the article is over at PC Gamer. It's by Nick Evanson. It says, mind you, the hardware requirements do ramp up at higher graphics settings, which is kind of an obvious thing, but they do have an option for you to step down. That's not really why I chose this article. It Takes Two used to have, there is a game where it's called It Takes Two, and there's a follow-up game called Split Fiction, and in Split Fiction you are two writers. One is a sci-fi writer, one is a fantasy writer, and one is a science fiction writer, I think. And you actually have to work together to get through the game, and you've been acquired somehow. I didn't really get into the beginning of this thing, but I know about later scenes of it where your creative efforts are actually being siphoned from you. And so all of your past creativity and your current creative efforts are being embodied in this game. And so one of them wrote about being a space marine, and so you're a space marine. And one of them wrote about being a dragon, and so you're a dragon.
That's kind of a cool premise.
Yeah, and it's really cool that way. One person is red, one person is blue. You basically have to go back and forth to facilitate getting through the various obstacles. And when one person dies, they get reset, and you have to work together, sometimes going backwards, just so that you're all on the same page moving forwards. I think it's a great premise. Not everybody. This is the kind of thing that if you don't have really good communication skills, it's like a relationship ender.
Yeah, I could see that could be a little tense depending on who's playing it together.
How chill you are. And everybody that I've seen so far playing this is pretty chill about it. Me, on the other hand, I really don't like dying again and again and again. And it's kind of a Souls-like kind of thing in the sense that you die and you're reborn and you have to re-travel the ground that you've traveled before and but there's...
Do you have to reacquire your stuff?
No, you are you, and you don't lose anything because you don't pick up anything. You are who you are. But it's really just nothing more than a team building thing. I think if more teams in corporations were to build stuff like this, I think that you might actually figure out who it is who can communicate and who people are more like me who go, No, I just want shit to work. And so this might be a good team builder.
It could have the opposite effect too.
But then again, yeah, you could find out who's about to quit the company because they'll flip the table and storm out, depending on if they suck or the other person sucks. But either way, it's a fun watch. It really is. But it's not my style of game. It is 85 gigs. And as you ramp up to higher resolution, then of course you need a beefier machine. But they're talking about 3070s, which nowadays isn't that much, considering there's 40s and 50 generation cards out there, and Radeons are higher.
It's still expensive though.
Yeah, tell me about it. I was looking at a new machine, and it actually led me to go, you know what? I think maybe I'll just buy another Mac Mini Pro version so that I can do encoding, and that can act as my streaming out machine. I don't know. So yeah, sorry about the links. The links are over on the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to go and get them over there, at least unless I do it live. But anyway, I'll fix it immediately after this show. And then, you know what? Go over to YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Twitch. Don't.
Go to both.
Go to both, and then sign up over at ohmtown.com. Yeah. Hopefully there's some really big changes afoot. I'll find out once I get a forensic report about the performance of the server. So I'm doing a deep dive, trying to speed it up and stuff like that. The search kind of sucks right now, but hey, I'm a one-person shop. At any rate, they say admittedly that's for playing on low resolution, 1080p native resolution, target frame rate of 30 frames per second. So you can be on a Core i5 6600 with a RTX 970 or Radeon RX 470. But, you know, if you want to amp it up to the highest resolution.
Right, but I do like that. I mean, then it allows a broader audience.
Sure, of course. Yep, sounds good. And really, everybody should be on SSD right now. If you're on a hard drive, you're pretty much hobbling yourself in terms of getting straight to the game. So let's keep going though. This next article is over in the WarCrafters channel. Yeah, I said who it was from PC Gamer. So Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 finally has its Thomas the Tank Engine mod, and the Emperor will surely be pleased. If you hadn't heard about this, Thomas the Tank Engine is public domain now, so everybody can smack it around all they want. You know your video game is made.
I thought it was a collaboration. That makes more sense, though.
Oh, no. Yeah. Thomas the Tank Engine has been turned into a giant spider chasing down a train. Yeah. So, and other things. Just like
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, exactly. So, nothing is sacred past public domain. In fact, the more it's defended as public domain, or not as private domain, right, as intellectual property under copyright, the more people, when the protections do get ripped off, they unleash ungodly kind of things on to this protected, warm and fluffy Winnie the Pooh is now on a murder spree, and Steamboat Willie is I don't know what. Oh, that too is on a murder spree, but in an ink thing. And even Thomas the Tank Engine, which I thought was really dystopian to begin with, was made cutesy for some reason. But anyway.
Yeah, it was pretty dark for being a kid's story.
Yeah, a train. One of the trains, as punishment, was walled up inside a trestle. Like, what? And it was alive and sitting there talking to people, and they wall it up because it was a bad behaving train. Anyway, you know your game has made it when it gets a Thomas the Tank Engine mod. Skyrim, Resident Evil 2, Fallout 4, Elden Ring. The list of blockbuster games blessed with the terrifying sight and sound of Thomas is legend. Now Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is on the list. This article is over at IGN.com. Wesley Ian Poole put the article together. And they've got pictures and a video and all that kind of stuff, but I really just wanted to talk about this. So in the latest work of Tom, aka Warhammer Workshop, the modder behind Space Marine 2's excellent Astartes overhaul, he's added Thomas the Tank Engine to the Ballistic Engine PvE mission, which is a perfect fit given it features an Imperial train station in which the Space Marines must escort a fusion battery that comes under attack from waves of Tyranids. So, yay. You can go over and watch the video. I won't even play it in the stream. It says Tom created... Go ahead.
I would not have thought of connecting Warhammer and Thomas the Tank Engine, but why not?
Hey, man, you look, it's even painted the Astartes colors, so I think it's fine. In the face of these trials, I, reckless and desperate, made certain unwise vows to the dark and unknowable saber gods. For a time I faltered, my obligations left unmet, my soul teetering on the brink of damnation, but no longer. Through toil and sacrifice, through the wailing of machine spirits and the lamentations of my own sanity, I have done what must be done. Thomas has come.
No, it's like they're summoning it or something.
Exactly. Yeah, the warp has opened and it has delivered us unto us something far worse than any Black Crusade. Thomas the Tank Engine is ready for war. I
think this kind of works.
You can make anything work if you try hard enough. So there may or may not have been an unofficial understanding that modding tools wouldn't be released until Thomas made his grand arrival. So Saber has an up and down relationship with Space Marine 2 modders ever since the game's massive launch last year, but official tools are set to be released to the community further down the line, and the developer has shown a willingness to work with modders and enable them in-game in certain situations. So there you go, folks. Go and check the rest of this article out. Machine spirit, indeed. Warhammer 40k, by the way, is dark. I mean, if you think, doggone it, my brain just shut down. Game
of Thrones?
Game of Thrones is dark. No. Warhammer gets even darker. Let's move on.
That's not a... Well, it depends on what you're going for in your game, I guess.
Well, in the vein of 40,000, Warhammer 40,000, how about Steam tops 40 million concurrent players for the first time as we all jump on to play Monster Hunter Wilds? Except me, I don't like it. I like watching people play it. I like watching it. I don't like playing it. So Steam, the most popular digital game distributor for PC players, has once again broken its own concurrent user record, breaching 40 million players for the first time. But here's the thing about this. It isn't just Monster Hunter that they're talking about. It's all the games.
That's true, but I think Monster Hunter has been doing some interesting things, because there was another article in ohmTown that essentially said some major franchise, I guess, released a game maybe right after Monster Hunter or at the same time, and it only had like 5 purchases or something. Like it's taking away users from other properties.
Oh, wow. So Steam is the most popular digital game distributor over the weekend, which just so happened to coincide with Monster Hunter Wilds launch, February 28th. Steam logged nearly 41 million simultaneous players, 40,270,997 simultaneous players, breaking its previous record of 39.9 million players set in February. So everybody is moving over to Steam, but Steam is providing the weapons for everybody, literally digital weapons, but still weapons for everybody. So I can see why. And it's one of those things where it's the slow crawl, and people thought Steam wasn't going to survive. People were actually poo-pooing the idea of a game launcher like this. But look at Apple's game launcher. The App Store is nothing more than a game launcher. It's an installer.
Right.
And Google Play.
I think it's like, as more people join, it brings more people. So
right. Yeah. So you have to ride the wave. You have to be you have to kind of, if you're just starting out, like ohmTown is just starting out. It's been around for a while, but we don't advertise and we don't have investors and blah, blah, blah. But the idea is to basically slowly grow within your confines, because if you don't, you can have investors that influence your growth, and then you end up having to raise prices again and again and again to kind of staunch the flow of blood. Otherwise, you as the CEO will get replaced because the board says, nay, move. So with Valve owning Steam and Steam opening the door to any developer that wants to put and cough up a certain percentage, Valve is a win for everybody if people allow it. What's fascinating is all of the benefits of Steam aren't going over to a company like Apple, where countries are railing against Apple because it's a silo. That's because they're a one-stop shop for everything.
Right. Yeah, I guess it just depends on what platform you're trying to be on, but Steam doesn't seem to really have a significant competitor.
Well, there's a bunch of different players, but
Yeah, but they're not at the same scale, it seems like.
that's
Are
not
they?
because of Steam. No. Steam is dominant, but that's because they've been slowly growing themselves again and
Oh,
again and again.
absolutely. Yeah, I don't think that's an accident.
Yeah, I mean, when you sit there and go, well, look at the Epic Game Store. The Epic Game Store focuses on Epic stuff, right?
Correct. Whereas Steam is more holistic.
Everybody, hey, Epic, you can put your game on our store. PlayStation, you can put it on our store. All of this stuff can be put on the Steam store. In fact, I'm surprised that, okay, so movie theaters, movie distribution studios, instead of consolidating into one thing, they've all tried to brand their own. And so it costs them an arm and a leg to just launch a movie. And instead of giving, 30% to one major distribution system, they're all spending millions trying to spin up their own. Well, Steam spun up their own and everybody went womp onto that. It's kind of like what happened with Reddit. When Dig imploded, everybody went to Reddit. Nobody wanted to go anywhere else, so they all went to Steam because that's where the market was, that's where the customer was, that's where the social network was, etc. So they could focus on one. Everybody else is going to have to suffer and slowly grow within their confines. It'll happen, but they're going to have to spend more of the juice to market to get people and make it less friction bound than Steam, which is good luck. Mash one button and you buy a bunch of games all at once. GOG does a good job of it too, but it's isolated, It's everything that it doesn't want to be on Steam necessarily. Anyway, this is a really interesting article. The Vicky Blake over at IGN.com put the article together again. And in fact, it says, according to SteamDB, Steam's concurrent record, seen by some as a way of measuring the success of Valve's digital platform, has been broken almost every single month since May 2024, with the concurrent peak rising from 35.5 million to 40.2 million in a little less than 6 months.
A little more than 6 months.
Really? A little more. Yeah, a little more. So I won't even get into all of the minutia of this, but they're talking about the fact that it's making these jumps. But it's because different things that Marv Rivals. I knew that guy.
Yeah, exactly. I also think it's interesting because Monster Hunter has 1.38 million players at peak, but obviously that's a small percentage. I mean, it is and it isn't of overall Steam.
Yeah. But they're all, it's growing and growing and growing, but they're looking individually at each of the games as being successful and successive growth spurts. And then they're looking at Steam as a whole. And the success of Steam means that there's going to be more success for more games on Steam. So I have never looked at Steam and said, God, they're taking too much money from my game distribution. Same thing with Apple's platform or the Google Play Store. You would
Yeah,
have...
they're bringing the audience to you.
Yeah, exactly. And all you have to do is say, hey, I'm on the thing. And they go, oh, okay, I can go do a search. As opposed to, hey, I'm on my website. Come over to my website. And you can't advertise on, these other platforms.
Right, yeah. Why would they allow a competitor to do so?
Yeah.
I guess they do in some instances, but yeah.
In some instances, yes. But why not just plop it everywhere and make 70% instead of having to spend a whole lot more? Because you're advertising to each individual location or your own location. Ugh, it's all a nightmare. So, and I've been there, I've had 3 apps on the iOS App Store, on the Apple App Store. And when they did this big purge about reconfiguration and stuff like that, I said, I'm not a developer. But I keep looking back thinking maybe I should relaunch that stuff. And now I'm looking at launching something on Steam because Steam is kind of the de facto non-mobile platform, but they also have mobile options because now you have the Steam Deck. So it's pretty cool. But I'll always look at Steam as a success story. Anyway, there's more over in this article, but for the most part, Steam is kind of crushing it. Let's keep going. This next article is a VR related one. So it's over on Reality Hacker, which was actually yesterday's show. But Rogue Pinata's VRmageddon review.
I already like this one.
Because of Rogue Pinatas?
Yeah, I mean, it's not what you expect. I don't know anything about this game, but I like the name.
Neither do I. So, and that's why I chose it. I thought that was really interesting, VRmageddon. A delightfully absurd premise is clear from the opening scene. After decades of being mercilessly smashed by humans, the Pinatas are fighting back. Stuffed with candy and out for revenge, they're determined to destroy civilization, attacking anything in their path. It's Candy Crush meets The Walking Dead as players cobble together ludicrous makeshift weaponry to battle the papier-mâché, or papier-mâché. It's from the Seinfeld episode, where one of the characters kept saying papier-mâché.
No, I don't know that episode.
And then eventually they break down and just go, it's paper mache. Anyway, the papier mache menace. So James Tokyo, I guess, or Tachio. I don't know how they pronounce their last name, but I gave it the Harvard try. I never went to Harvard, so it'd be what it be. At any rate, Rogue Pinata is a VRmageddon. And it looks like it's $25. It's on Steam, so that's great. It was reviewed on a Quest 3S. What's up?
And the developer is Nerd Ninjas, because of course it is.
Of course, Nerd Ninjas. This is great because it says it's a roguelite for up to 4 players. So you're not just running around by yourself. In VR. Okay, so now I have to buy...
Kind of I have to buy more? You have to have multiple headsets depending on who you're playing with.
I don't know. They played a Quest 3S where it ran smoothly and looked great. Testing the game in co-op mode on their second headset, a Quest 2, revealed no noticeable issues. The game's crisp visuals and cartoony art direction perfectly complement the game's tone, so there you go. I'm going to mute it, but I'm going to hit play. And this is basically it. This is the beginning of it, at least. I don't know who is actually playing it. I suppose it's the author.
Or it could be a trailer or something.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's a trailer because it doesn't have. It's embedded in the uploadvr.com website. So it looks like the pinata goes all evil and its eyes start glowing. And then they turn around inside their garage and they see a massive amount of other pinatas of varying sizes.
This is a fun premise.
And then the news alerts come out.
Wrong.
Wow. So this looks like it would be an absolute blast. Oh, and then the newscaster that's broadcasting out a video gets attacked by a pinata and the line goes dead. So essentially, the game loop is fans of roguelite games like Vampire Survivors will feel right at home with rogue pinatas. The journey begins in a humble family garage. Initially, the players control Kit Bash and the game's first playable character, but as they progress, they can unlock 6 more, each of which have distinct stats and playstyles. And you basically survive as long as you can, and you build up your stats as time goes on. So there's different zones. Requiring different ways to deal with things, but working together with people. It says swinging a pizza peel battle axe or clobbering enemies with a multi-bat, because 7 bats are better than 1, feels phenomenal. Dual wielding melee weapons turns combat into a calorie burning frenzy with pinatas shattering, ricocheting, and disintegrating in beautifully chaotic fashion. I'm on board.
This was a good article because I think it sold it.
Yeah, for sure. This is actually absolutely awesome. So this, coupled with the motorcycle racing game that got ported over to PC VR. What is it? Oh my gosh. I just forgot the name of it. Hold on a minute. Wait. I can tell you. Because it's right. VRider. It's basically a sports bike racing
right, but in VR
game, but in VR. So I'm going to end up getting this game on PC VR and might have to get a couple more VR headsets, because this just seems like a blast for a few people to get together and play this thing.
It does sound like it'd be a lot of fun to play multiplayer.
And because you're not getting pummeled by a friend or family member, there's no like, oh my God, it's so tedious, stop killing me, like what I've had to do.
You have like a common enemy or whatever.
Yeah. So this is actually phenomenal. So there's a lot more to read. They have final thoughts over there at the article at Upload VR, but go on over there and check it out. It says the facts. So what is it? A silly and challenging roguelite for up to 4 players. It's out now on Steam and Quest, developed by Nerd Ninjas, and it's $25. And if it's endless like I suspect it is, I'm pretty sure that you can get countless hours of just having fun, collaborating, much like Split Fiction, except that you're not going to get to the point where you want to beat each other like a piñata.
Let's try to avoid that.
All right, let's keep on going. The next article is over in WarCrafters. Itch.io's Wildfire Relief fundraising bundle has over 150 games for $10, but I swear I paid more and got a lot more. But maybe it wasn't Itch.io's.
Or maybe there's different tiers.
Let's go over to this. So the article is over at polygon.com. Alice Giovanni, or Giovanni, I think it's Giovanni. Anyway, put the article together. Through March 13th, you can pick up Tunic, Skatebird, and hundreds of others, all indie titles for just $10. But I thought that I gifted somebody a package of some 400 apps running across various platforms. It wasn't just... Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I don't think I closed it, but I might have. Yeah, I might have.
Well, this is neat because this is directly supporting people impacted by the wildfires in California.
Yeah, I can't find it. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. I'll do it live since we have a little bit of time. Oh my. Yeah, I think this is it. Hold on. Yeah, it's 422 items for $10. I think I gave $20. And
I think that's hard to beat. I mean, really, you're doing fundraising and you're getting a lot of games to try out. And even if you only like a small percentage of them, that's still a really good deal.
Yeah, so just so you all know, when you purchase this, it's only $10. I think I paid $20. But I I value the benefit that's going to California fires. So 173 Windows games, 89 Mac OS games, 66 Linux based games, 5 Android, and 11 that play in the browser. So that's the platform that, like, it's specifically speaking to a platform when you do a search. So all kinds of stuff for everybody to play. So go
Yeah,
on over there
seems like it's worth checking out. And we're not affiliates or anything.
oh no, uh, I mean, I call it itch.io, but I think it's called itch.io. We don't get kickbacks. We're not marketing anything. We just value the benefit that this is offering to California fire relief. Because it wasn't their fault. And there were lunatics out there that were robbing like breaking into buildings and stealing stuff,
impersonating firefighters, all kinds of horrible activities.
And at least one person was caught trying to extend the fire because there are fire bugs, and they were trying to set the buildings on fire. So the proceeds benefit CORE, a Los Angeles, California organization that offers direct financial support to Californians impacted by wildfires and funds projects for fire resilience. This bundle comes after several January wildfires, including the Eaton and Palisades fires, which are now both contained. Contained? I hope they're gone. Not contained. Are they still burning? Holy crap.
I don't believe so. I think that's just the terminology they use. But I can check.
They say, according to this, so far the bundle has raised over $190,000, but as of right now, and it is March 9th, it's at $273,185.78. I don't know how you get the cents in there, but okay. And I would love for it to get to the $300,000 goal by March 13th. So I hope everybody who hears this, stumbles across this channel, goes over and just spends $10. Again, I think
both are 100% contained, by the way.
Okay, good. So while the bundle includes an absolutely massive catalog of content to pour over, they say that they've picked out titles that easily justify the $10 price tag. And while I say it's easy, the very first one, Tunic, does it. Go over and check out all of the rest of these. They've got some listed over here, but I'm not going to go through them all. You can go over Tunic and Skatebird and hundreds of others for just $10. In fact, like I said, 422 items. Normally priced, this would be $8,206.
Wow. I mean, that's really crazy that they brought it down to $10. I know they're trying to do it for fundraising, but it's interesting because they could have probably doubled or tripled the price and still gotten a lot of backers.
Yep. 301 separate creators added to the content. So this is pretty amazing. If I would have had my game done, I would have donated it to this too. All right. But that is the last thing. So I guess, what do? I guess we reboot the machine and end up back at the WarCrafters front page.
Oh, I was going to say we donate to CORE and...
Different CORE. The California CORE.
The California Wildfire Relief, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. We can do that. I didn't buy it for me. I donated it to somebody else. So I can buy it for myself too. I wonder, can I do that? I don't know. I might get in trouble. I'll have to promote something as a fundraiser because you can't have a tie to something without it being disclosed as a fundraiser or something like that nowadays.
Right, so, but we're not running a fundraiser in this show.
Right. We're just telling people, hey, go and find value in rebuilding California from the devastating wildfires. Because guess what, folks? Californians are going to have to foot the bill because the insurance companies aren't going to cover everything, and the company that's responsible for it isn't going to cover everything. And the electorate has already voted once before to kick the bill into the costs in California. because it was billions of
Yeah,
dollars
for
in the last fire.
utilities, right. So
Yeah.
the residents are bearing the cost of it,
Even
which
though,
they've already borne the costs of it through other issues.
yeah, even though it was apparently born from the very utilities that are now dinging them. So unfreaking believable, but too big to fail. All right, folks. That's it for ohmTown's WarCrafters show for March 9th, 2025. So thanks for hanging out. I am out of here and I'm taking the AI with me.
Bye-bye, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for this week's WarCrafters. Stay tuned for more episodes.
Yeah, right after this, we're going to be doing Technology Today, and then after that is FourWheelTech. Each one, you can kind of tell by its name that it's got a niche, right? So Technology Today is more a deeper look at science and technology, and not the mechanical kind of technology. We're talking about science kind of technology. And then FourWheelTech is all about automotive technology. So stick around. See you in a little bit. Bye-bye.